Hey, I've been quietly observing here for a bit, dealing with the whole cheating thing in my life. My wife and I have been married for 8 years, a bit longer if you count the time we've been together, and we have 2 young kids. This year has been rough, with some arguments, but nothing I thought would lead my wife to cheat. Recently, I noticed her being distant and uncommunicative, so I confronted her one evening. She admitted she wasn't happy and felt no spark. Initially, I blamed myself for not being attentive, which was true. The next day, I found a really lovey-dovey message on her phone. I discovered she'd been messaging a guy for a long time with lots of I love yous and plans for a future together. It hit me hard. Following advice from various threads, I didn't confront immediately. I read a lot, consulted a couple of lawyers, one on retainer now, got my head straight, and stayed calm. A couple of days ago, I calmly confronted my wife and asked if she was having an affair. After a few minutes, she admitted everything. Long story short, it's been going on for 6 months and she claims it's the deepest emotional connection ever. Complete BS. Anyway, I set boundaries, cut off contact, suggested marriage counseling, and more. The breaking point came when she resisted cutting off contact. Even when I asked her to do it in front of me and insisted on seeing him one last time, I stood my ground and told her if he's so important, pack a bag and go live with him. She backed off, calling me a controlling yank. She sent a text this morning, but I suspect she'll try a different means of communication. I don't see much hope, and I honestly don't want it at this point. I just want to be able to tell my kids in 20 years that I tried. We have marriage counseling tomorrow, but I'm leaning toward filing before wasting more time. I'm cautious due to my kids, but is this the right move? I have the paperwork filled out with my lawyer. They just need to process it, and I'll pick a date to have her served. Going the doormat route won't end well. I need to think about my future, my kids, and move on. Update. The past few weeks have been really tough, but they've given me time to think and reflect. My wife and I went to counseling after our first big talk, and I must say, the counselor was great at listening to both of us without blaming anyone. She helped us navigate our new reality and pointed out some issues in our relationship. While it doesn't excuse my wife's behavior, it's good to know for the future to avoid making the same mistakes. As mentioned, my wife didn't seem to follow my request to cut off contact with the affair partner. I noticed some messages before she went completely silent. After seeing that, I decided to file for divorce, and she was served a few days ago. At the same time, I had a heart-to-heart with my father-in-law, who I'm really close to, prioritizing support for our kids over our relationship. It seemed like my wife wanted to ignore the issue. Naturally, my wife was really upset at first. Her fantasy was shattered, but our therapist talked through why this needed to happen from my perspective. I think she's starting to realize the consequences of her actions and the real things that will be lost. I'm just trying to process the new life ahead and the big change in my identity from being a husband and father to something else. Similarly, since I filed, my wife was shocked, and she's been very emotional these past few days. I honestly think she never expected me to walk away. I've kept my distance, but I've seen a noticeable change in her. On a positive note, we've talked more, kept our conversations civil, and focused on our shared priorities, especially our children. I've made it clear that she caused a huge wound, and she needs to do the heavy lifting to help repair it and give me space and time. If I can ever start to forgive, I'll say it again and again. Her actions are the most selfish, self-centered, and horrible things you could do to a person. But I haven't lost sight of the fact that we still need to raise our children. That's my main focus as I figure out how to move forward to the next phase of my personal happiness. I'm honestly proud that I found the strength not to dwell in self-pity, anger, or sadness, and to make the right moves to keep my dignity and look forward to a brighter future. I don't know all the next steps, and my feelings are constantly changing, but I'm starting to feel some inner peace. I'm in the post-serving phase and working closely with my counsel. What I'm wondering is if any betrayed spouses here took advantage of the affair fog to get better divorce terms and how they managed it. My soon-to-be ex-wife is clearly deep in the fog, still contacting the affair partner, and at the moment, I haven't bothered her about it. Update. My wife cheated, forming a stronger emotional connection with someone else. We still love each other, but aren't in love anymore. I filed for divorce, and it's been about a month and a half since everything came to light. I'm working hard to move forward. The process is ongoing, and I'll share updates when the time is right, probably in a while. If you've been through this, I'd appreciate any advice, lessons learned, or things you wish you had known. Just reaching out in case there's more helpful information. I filed for divorce, and things are moving in that direction. I'd like to hear how others dealt with in-laws and friends, especially when they try to make you look like the bad guy. After filing, I informed some in-laws, my family, and a few friends, but I didn't make it widely known to keep some things private. However, it seems my soon-to-be ex-wife has shared her side, and I'm getting cold vibes from her family and others. It's tough when close family turns their backs, even though I've been a good dad and my wife has acted immorally. Did people eventually see the truth and change their opinions, or did they just move on? While it's natural for people to take sides, those who believe her probably weren't loyal to you anyway. You don't need people like that. Focus on your kids and your side of the story. At the end of the day, you know what happened, and that's what matters. Update. Today brings some closure to the saga that began last summer, during which I sought advice from everyone here. Going through this process is tough, especially when close family is far away. It's challenging to be alone with your thoughts, but there's wisdom and introspection to gain. To recap, my wife cheated, and I found out, realizing there was no hope, as she was deeply involved with the affair partner. I filed for divorce immediately. The past few months have been frosty but relatively drama-free as my soon-to-be ex and I separated our lives in the house while still co-parenting. The discovery and mediation process moved quickly. We agreed on 50 custody for our kids along with schedules and holidays. Asset division in our no-fault state followed the book with some give and take. The final conclusion is on the horizon, and for the most part, the divorce is complete. As for advice from this fiasco, I learned several things. First, don't bother with the pick-me dance. I tried for a week before realizing her decision to cheat was hers to live with. Second, hire an experienced family law attorney who is reasonable. The person who helped me was crucial in reaching a resolution without crazy fees. Third, lean on friends and family for support as much as possible. Fourth, prioritize regular exercise to maintain mental health. I started hitting the weights a month after D-Day and am starting to see the benefits. The confidence gained has been helpful to get through the process. Fifth, engage in individual counseling and talk with someone. This has been tremendously helpful. Sixth, realize that the cheater's decisions are their own. No matter the excuses, it's on them. I heard it all from my soon-to-be ex, but I now know our marriage went wrong after she invited someone into her life who fed her lines, stroked her ego, and gave her extra attention. She had to make me the bad guy to justify her actions in her mind. While stress may have played a role, not communicating with her husband and confiding in a 2-time divorced cheater with no moral compass is entirely her responsibility and a recipe for disaster. The final chapter of this saga is yet to be written, but poor choices carry consequences. That's all I'll say on the matter. Update. I'm not too far from moving into my own place because of my kids with my soon-to-be ex and legal reasons. I've stayed in our marital house during this process, and I've shared updates in a couple of other threads. Thankfully, the end of the tunnel is near for me. Even though I'll have to co-parent with my cheating ex, I've made it clear that she ended our marriage and any chance of friendship. I don't have room in my life for a dishonest cheater. Despite her insistence on being there for me and helping with my new house, I've firmly stated that she ruined our relationship, and I'm simply giving her what she wanted, to replace me. I've even told her she won't be welcome in my house. Has anyone else dealt with an ex wanting to stick around? I guess it's some sort of appearance thing, trying to make the split seem less bad if we're friends. So far, her fair partner hasn't shown up, and she tries to hide it. But I know it's only a matter of time before their supposed deep emotional connection takes them elsewhere. I have no desire to be in the same room with them, but I'll watch from a safe distance when it all falls apart. Today, the official decree came, and I'm no longer married. I got the keys to my new house and will start moving soon. I chose a buyout to start fresh and got lucky finding a well-kept house a minute from my current home. It has a huge backyard, wood fire pit, big garage, and a prime location. I back up to a nature preserve, perfect for my outdoor hobbies. It's my own little paradise. Some may wonder why I chose to stay so close. Well, I want to be near my kids so they know their dad is close when they need me. Following the community's advice, I focused on what's important, started working out, and embraced a new career opportunity that's paying off. I haven't bothered with online dating or looking for a new partner and plan to enjoy the single life for a while. My focus is on my 2 kids and personal growth. As for my ex and her affair partner, I'm starting to let go of that disaster. Whatever happens is no longer my concern. As someone wisely said, when someone gets with a cheater, they're getting someone who cheated. I did my best as a husband and father, and it's time for someone else to appreciate it. Update. That said, in my new free time, unfortunately, I've reflected and seen the life I had planned disappear. I wonder, how could this happen so quickly? I'm sure everyone has had time to ponder the who, what, where, when, why. But when I look back, my spouse and I had a great life ahead. Our careers were doing well after some initial major efforts to establish ourselves. We had a paid-off home, 2 beautiful kids out of diapers, and college funds for them, among many other things going for us. Thinking about this is my final challenge to overcome, but I can't grasp the mindset of someone who had so much, but decided to destroy it all and go all in on unreliable serial cheating. Do I need to mention OMB one more time to this group? I know I'll struggle for a while to heal from all this, but when I look at our history and lives together, I just wonder how a person can be so selfish and stupid. I understand desire can't be negotiated and all that jazz, but the whole point of being married is to work together as a team and continuously fall back in love with each other. Update. Wanted to give a quick update, especially for those folks who just went through their D-Day and are worried about what life may be like. It's been 6 weeks post-decree and I moved into my new place a month ago. I've been working like crazy to set it up as my sanctuary, and now it's well furnished and feels like home. My home. My kids have visited many times, and the rotation is working well. People say kids are resilient, and now that I've seen it firsthand, it's reassuring. I'm happy to report that they're handling things pretty well. We have our own fun at Dad's house, and they've told me many times they love being over. As for me, it was initially weird having newfound freedom, but making to-do lists and setting daily, weekly, and long-term goals is helping a lot. I was initially sad, but keeping busy keeps those feelings away. Right now, I'm solely focused on self-improvement. While I've thought about putting myself back on the scene, truthfully I have no interest. So I'm keeping my focus on home improvement, fitness, and my kids. Regarding the cheating ex, I keep it cordial, and that's it. No sign of the supposed deep emotional connection affair partner yet. What the heck? But who cares? Tonight, I sat outside, had a few beers and a cigar, and enjoyed the peace and tranquility of my property. I thought about getting away from the situation my ex put me in, and it feels like the right thing to do for those at the beginning and doubting leaving. I get it. It's the toughest thing, and heartbreak is a kick in the junk. But deciding to eject a cheater was the only right decision, and I believe with time, it will get better. Update. Now into the 2nd month of being on my own, and my house is coming together nicely. My kids are doing well, making memories, and I have some fun trips planned. Following the usual advice, I've stepped up my weight training and dieting, upgraded my home gym, and regularly hit the heavy bag. It seems to be working. In my monthly therapy sessions, my counselor noticed positive changes in my weight distribution and mentioned great progress mentally and physically. A little affirmation that things are heading in the right direction. I haven't bothered with dating. At this point, it's early, and I'm enjoying my free time, new projects, and spending time with friends. So, to the main point of the post, and I'm sure everyone wonders, has bad luck struck bad people? I don't have the satisfying post detailing the downfall of OMB or the ex-wife just yet. However, it's radio silence as the supposed greatest romance ever hasn't been revealed, and OMB remains a secret. I wonder why this could be. Is my ex-wife managing her image and waiting for a better time to reveal everything? But isn't the thrill of the affair gone now that they can't sneak around? I'm no longer around, so I find it odd. I suspect they are still communicating. She makes it obvious by hiding her phone when I'm present during kids' activities. But why? You wanted this, sneaked around, claimed it was amazing. Why not broadcast it now that the horrible ex-husband is gone? Has this happened to anyone else with their ex and affair partner? Update. I'm nearing the 6-month mark post-divorce and almost a year past D-Day. I hope to keep offering assistance in any small way to those in need. I deeply appreciate the support I've received and would love to return the favor. On that note, 6 months post-D-Day, there's a lot of positive news. My house feels like a home, my kids are comfortable and enjoy coming over, and they've made some neighborhood friends. I'm extremely thankful that the little ones have handled this process so well, understanding the balance between dad time and mom time without any complaints or tears while they're here. I've immersed myself in numerous home improvements. The house I moved into had some neglect from the previous owner, but I see it as an opportunity to make it my own. Additionally, I've set up a home gym with everything I need, managing to work out and box 4 times a week, bringing my body back to where it needs to be. Throughout this ordeal, I also underwent a significant internal career change at my workplace and surprisingly received praise instead of making any mistakes. I've kept my situation private, received a raise, and gained exposure to move my career upward. Although I still struggle daily with mental health and focus, I manage it with therapy and workouts, and things are improving. I think of my ex-wife less each day, and each small step forward brings relief. As for her, she's still in La La Land, but we co-parent decently. I firmly keep our conversations strictly about the kids and maintain a cordial relationship. Anyone following my story might wonder about the saga of OMB. All I can say is the world's greatest love story hasn't gone public. But my kids recently informed me he's been around in a small capacity. It's amusing to me that 6 months post D-Day, they're still sneaking around. These are surely the great hallmarks of a long-lasting, trusting relationship, guaranteed to stand the test of time. I've accepted that whatever will happen, will happen. At this point, I feel fortunate to be away from a person willing to lie to their most trusted partner without remorse. I have a solid chance at building an even better life than before. Good riddance and good luck. Anyways, that is all. Update. Just wanted to share a great conversation I had with my buddy last night over a few beers. It's amazing how Friday night discussions can sometimes solve the world's problems. For context, my buddy went through a divorce 7 years ago, and his situation is surprisingly similar to mine. Even our exes share the same birthday. As I've mentioned in recent posts, the grand reveal of OMB and my ex is slowly unfolding. While I maintain low contact with my ex, my kids make comments, and it's hard not to feel bothered. Anyway, my buddy noticed my frustration and shared something that really helped. Dude, think about their lives. 2 cheaters getting together, and consider how lousy and low value that guy is for manipulating a married woman with kids. Now look at it this way. They have to make it work no matter how bad it gets. You or I can meet new people, and if it doesn't work out, we move on without any problem or worry. They're stuck. He has to be in your old house knowing you built that, dealing with your kids and inheriting your selfish ex and in-laws. But they're stuck, or else they look stupid. Can you imagine that kind of hell? But you're free. I pondered on that, and this morning it really helped me gain perspective. What a dreadful future they have to look forward to. Just wanted to share this thought and ask if others have reached a similar conclusion or witnessed it in action. Thanks, as always, to you awesome people. Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Trying to play house in a home that the affair partner never built, a home that he helped to destroy. Update. A friend is invited to my kid's birthday. For those who remember my story, I've got something to share, but right now, I need some advice. Here's the background. My daughter's birthday is this weekend. I already had a small celebration last weekend with my family. Nothing extravagant, just some presents and cake, and my daughter loved it. Now, the ex-wife is throwing her usual look how great I am party this weekend. I did receive an invite, but I just found out the other day that the affair partner OMB will be there. I called out my ex-wife, telling her it was a pretty lousy move, but she didn't respond. To make things worse, the ex-wife's co-workers, family, friends who knew about the affair will also be there. And the party is at my old house, enemy territory. This is terrible overall, especially since it's my daughter's party after our divorce. I can't shake the feeling that it's a setup. It's a lose-lose situation, and after talking to some supportive members here, it feels like stepping into a pit of vipers. The only idea I have is to go in well-dressed, with a fresh haircut, and showcase my new physique. I've been putting in the work and staying positive, but either way, I just don't like this. It feels super manipulative on the part of the ex-wife. She knows exactly how she's playing this and wants me to react in a petty way. Any advice is appreciated. Update. Regarding the exciting update, this one's a good story. Initially, I told my ex-wife that I would be joining the party. What I didn't do was inform her that I'd changed my mind. I waited until Saturday morning to swing by the house and drop off my daughter's card and gift. Unbeknownst to me, the kids were at Grandma and Grandpa's house for the morning. As I drove into the driveway in my sports car, OMB's car was on the side of the road. I quietly strolled into the backyard, surprising both the ex-wife and OMB as they were setting up decorations. The look of utter terror was on both their faces. When I saw them, I didn't feel anger, just a sense of how sad they both are. Good luck together. Is that growth? I kept my composure and said, I'm here to give my daughter her present, but I won't be joining. The ex-wife was shocked, and she practically pleaded for me to join, but I declined politely. I went to your parents' place to give my daughter her gift and parted ways. I even gave a, hey, see you later, bro, to OMB before leaving with my head held high. Not more than 3 minutes later, I got a call from the ex-wife pleading for me to come to the party, but I held my ground and politely refused. Shortly after, I dropped off the gift, spent a few minutes at the ex-in-laws, played with my kids, and said my goodbyes, all very kindly without mentioning the situation. As for me, I kept busy taking care of my house, had a good workout, much needed after a break, and went on a date. It was somewhat of a bust, but she was nice, and at least it was a distraction. My daughter called me today, thanked me for the gift, but didn't ask why I wasn't there. As everyone said, she was so busy she didn't pay attention. There it is. I know if I had gone, it would have set me back for nothing. Instead, she told everyone I'd be there, and with me, a no-show and OMB present, people will likely figure out why. Now I can enjoy my weekend without feeling mentally exhausted and do some fun things. Update. I'm still grinning about the little maneuver I pulled last week. Things have been going well for me since then. Anyway, here's a bit of humor for you. Some background since D-Day. As those who have followed my story might recall, my in-laws distanced themselves from me. I understand it. Family comes first. However, one member of my extended family has reached out, and we regularly spend time together. He's genuinely a person of character. I received a text on Saturday during the party. Hey man, let's grab some beers this week. Your presence is missed here. Fast forward to the other day when we met up, started having beers, and got to the point. He began talking about how awkward the party was with people clearly uncomfortable about the situation. Surprisingly, OMB wasn't introduced to anyone. The ex-wife deliberately kept him apart during the party, directing him on what to do. The in-laws didn't bother talking to him and seemed pretty annoyed, sitting by themselves. He looked like a fish out of water, spending most of the time indoors and avoiding almost everyone. There were also quiet comments among some of the in-laws, aunts, and uncles, saying that the party was lacking in class. I swear I'm moving toward indifference, but I couldn't help but laugh. My absence was well understood, and the fact that I had given an earlier gift to my daughter was known, so it seems like the family had a full understanding of why I wasn't there. Mission accomplished. Anyway, that's my Friday humor.